think about this concept of platform revenue, there's no way you can pull that up in a Bloomberg terminal. What you're trying to do is say, okay, how much of this is linear revenue? How much of this is platform revenue? The thing to talk about here is platform revenue. So, what is Applico's role in this whole relationship with WisdomTree? It's not our fund, it's WisdomTree's fund. What we are doing is basically helping to provide data to WisdomTree to say, here are the companies with platform revenue. And if you think about this concept of platform revenue, there's no way you can pull that up in a Bloomberg terminal. It is a very nuanced thing to identify. So even platform conglomerates, even the strongest platform companies, Amazon, for example, has linear revenue and they have platform revenue, right? And that platform revenue is simply the revenue coming from a platform business. And so, when you think, how do you calculate platform revenue? What you need to do is identify, here is the platform business, and then how is that platform business monetized, right? And very often you will have linear revenue streams that are built on top of that platform business, right? So Amazon, obviously, they take their platform revenue from a product marketplace is them taking a take rate on the product that a third-party seller sells. Right? It's usually, say, 10 to 15% roughly of a transaction fee from the third-party seller. That's why I say third-party sellers are Amazon's customers. That's actually who they're making money from. Linear revenue for Amazon would be the things that are coming from fulfilled by Amazon, right? Like when they charge a seller rental revenue, to store products in the warehouse, or fulfillment fees, the revenue that they're making from their white label products or their 1P sales where they're acting as a reseller, right? So it's hard because not all these companies break out the information as you would hope. So fortunately, we were able to go to some investor conferences and things like that to try and ask questions to these platform companies when we get the chance. That's kind of big wrench has been thrown into that because of COVID. But nonetheless, right, what you're trying to do is say, okay, how much of this is linear revenue? How much of this is platform revenue? And then we've identified 8 different types of platform businesses in the book. And so what we said is, okay, here are the different thresholds. And we worked with WisdomTree on this. What should be the appropriate threshold of platform revenue by platform type, right? Because what you're going to see is that, for example, a product marketplace like Amazon is going to have a much lower ratio of linear revenue to platform revenue because you have a lot of product marketplaces that are acting as a 1P seller and a 3P seller. You have that dynamic versus, say, development platforms, right? Versus content platforms that had advertising revenue. So advertising revenue for a content platform or a social media platform is a very different thing to look at than, take rate revenue from a product marketplace. So you really need to look at platform revenue on a platform type basis, right? And then against those platform types, so you have product marketplaces, service marketplaces, you have investment platforms, you have payment platforms. So payment platforms would be like we've got Amex, Visa, MasterCard in there, right? Investment platforms would be like Market Access, which is a bond trading platform, does phenomenally well. And then you have social networks, you have communication and collaboration platforms, you have content platforms and development, a couple different types of development platforms. So we look at that and then we provide that data to WisdomTree to say, hey, here's the platform revenue that they have. WisdomTree can make the determination if they fit the different thresholds or not. But really what it comes down to is, how do you figure out what platform revenue is? And how do you calculate that? And that is really the determinant for what goes in the basket or not. Because we get questions all the time that says, well, why isn't Shopify in Plat? And I've spoken about that in the past, right? You have businesses that have platform businesses, right? Shopify. But the question is, do they have a material amount of platform revenue for them to be included in the basket, right? And so the answer for Shopify is they actually have a couple different platform businesses, a product marketplace with Shop, and then a development platform with an app marketplace. But that neither of those, and either individually or collectively, contribute a material amount of revenue to Shopify's business. That could change in the future, and that's what we track. And so they could be included in the index in the future, but right now, it's not a material amount of their business. If you want to look deeper into the full portfolio of what is in Plaid, you can go to this WisdomTree page, and if you go to the bottom, you'll see, hey, here are the top 10 holdings: Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Visa, MasterCard. Old school platforms, been around for decades. Platforms, though, extremely strong network effects. Visa, MasterCard, and Amex. Amex is in here, but they're just not on this top holdings page. They take a take rate on the volume going through their payment platform network. Extremely strong business. PayPal, Alibaba, Tencent. Then you can go in here and you can see the full list of everything by weight. So Match Group, Booking. That's the other interesting thing about this. Plaid has exposure to hospitality. Plaid has Booking. We have Expedia. You'll see in here farther down. We have Yelp in here. So Plaid has exposure to the restaurant industry. You've got travel and hospitality in here. It has a horizontal exposure, except for energy, across a variety of different industries. You've got Chegg in here in the education industry, right? They've done phenomenally well with the shift to remote education. You have CoStar, big in the real estate industry, right? You got Redfin in here. You got Zillow in here from real estate, right? So you have a nice cross section of a lot of different industries. But the point is, what are the strongest companies, namely tech companies, in every one of these verticals, in every one of these industries? And more often than not, you will find that the answer is it's the dominant platform company in that industry, right? That is the best form of tech company. That is the best form of growth company in that industry. And that's, pretty much how all of this came about. And Farfetch is in here. Yandex is in here. It's like Google and Russia. So you got Ping An Healthcare in here. That's a great story of a linear insurance company spinning off this healthcare marketplace platform. Amazing. We've spoken about that on the show. Really cool company. So that's some of the rebounds. You can go farther down. You can also view more of this broken out kind of by industry. If you really want to look at the full list, just click on this View All Holdings button and you'll be able to see everything. Hi, this is Alex from Winner Take All. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the content. Feel free to leave a comment, ask us questions, and definitely make sure to join us on our next live stream.